Imagine this, a wild-eyed entrepreneur, barefoot in boardrooms, promising to elevate the world's consciousness through office desks. Sounds insane, right? Yet Adam Neumann did exactly that, turning shared office spaces into a $47 billion empire that dazzled investors, hypnotized the media, and collapsed faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. What if your dream job or your next big investment was built on smoke and mirrors? Brace yourself. This is the true story of WeWork, a whirlwind of hype, ambition, and greed, ending in a fall that shook Silicon Valley to its core. Let's dive in. The dream. Picture New York City in 2010. The Great Recession still bites, jobs are scarce, and freelancers scrape by in coffee shops. Enter Adam Neumann, a 31-year-old Israeli immigrant with big hair, bigger dreams, and a knack for storytelling. Fresh off a failed baby clothes business, Neumann sees an opening. People need flexible workspaces, not stiff corporate towers. Ever felt trapped in a cubicle, dreaming of a place where work feels like play? Neumann did, and he made it happen. Teaming up with architect Miguel McKelvey, they rented a floor in a Soho building and launched WeWork. Trendy open spaces with ping pong tables, free beer on tap, and the new office smell. It wasn't just desks, it was a community for startups, artists, and hustlers. Their motto, do what you love. Sounds inspiring, doesn't it? The first WeWork opened in 2011 and took off. By charging short-term rents while locking in long-term leases, they flipped real estate like a tech app. Owning property? Not necessary. Low startup costs, high charm. Members loved networking events, yoga, even summer camps for kids. Neumann called it a physical social network, blending work and wellness. Who wouldn't want a desk next to the next big inventor? By 2014, WeWork hit unicorn status, a private company valued over $1 billion. Investors poured in $355 million in one round. Neumann's charisma sealed deals. He pitched visions of global domination, not spreadsheets. The company grew to 10 locations, 50,000 members, but cracks appeared. WeWork burned money, $690 million in losses in 2016 alone. Thanks to fancy perks and rapid expansion, still, the dream sold. Neumann bought a $10.5 million mansion, flew private jets, and hosted epic parties. But what happens when the dream turns into a nightmare? Let's hit the hype machine. The hype machine. Fast forward to 2017. WeWork isn't just growing, it's a rocket ship. SoftBank's Vision Fund, led by billionaire Masayoshi Son, dumps $4.4 billion into the company at a $20 billion valuation. Why? Son calls Neumann a once-in-a-century founder. Imagine convincing the world's richest investors that renting desks is worth more than NASA. That's hype at its finest. The company rebrands as the We Company and branches into wild side projects. We Live, co-living apartments. We Grow, schools. Even We Sculpt, gyms. Neumann dreams bigger. We Bank, We Ride, self-driving cars, We Mars, offices on the Red Planet. Investors ignore the math and buy the story. By January 2019, SoftBank injects another $2 billion, valuing WeWork at $47 billion, higher than Uber or Airbnb. $47 billion for a company losing $2 billion a year. It was hype on steroids. Media piles on. Fortune calls it the most valuable startup in the world. Neumann becomes a rock star CEO, long hair flowing, tequila shots in meetings, quotes like, "Money is just fuel for the mission." He parties with celebrities, buys a $60 million jet, branded Guilt Trip, and trademarks We for everything imaginable. Numbers. WeWork leases 800 buildings in 111 cities, 500,000 members, paying $5 billion yearly. Costs? Astronomical. $3.2 billion spent on growth in 2018, including $47 million in future rent liabilities. When a CEO throws company money at llama parties, is it genius or madness? The fall, August 14th, 2019. WeWork files its S1 for IPO. What could go wrong with $47 billion on the line? Everything. The filing reveals the truth. $1.9 billion lost in 6 months. $47 billion in long-term lease obligations, coincidentally matching valuation, and corporate governance nightmares. Neumann sold We trademarks back to the company for $5.9 million using company cash. Self-dealing? Check. He borrowed $500 million personally from SoftBank. Perks included $8 million for his kids' school. The business? Not tech. A money-losing real estate model with leases expiring soon. Media frenzy erupts. Wall Street Journal exposes bizarre behavior. Weed in the office, wrestling employees, chanting at all hands. Vanity Fair calls it a capitalist kibbutz gone wrong. Investors balk. JP Morgan pulls $40 million in commitments. Valuation drops, $20 billion, then $10 billion. In 33 days, the dream died. September 24th, IPO shelved. Neumann ousted as CEO, walks away with $1.7 billion. SoftBank bails with $9.5 billion, slashing value to $8 billion, an 83% wipeout. Why the crash? WeWork isn't scalable like software. Fixed leases mean fixed costs. Growth masks losses, but public markets demand profit. Easy money era ends. Interest rates rise, popping unicorns. Fallout, 2,400 layoffs, 30% of staff. Locations shuttered, members flee. From penthouse parties to pink slips, how does a community company destroy itself? The aftermath. October 2021. WeWork stumbles into the public eye via a SPAC merger, valued at $9 billion. Shares jump 13%, then crash. Ever seen a phoenix rise only to flop straight back into ashes? That's WeWork. The pandemic sealed its fate. Remote work surged, offices sat empty, and cash burned fast. Losses hit $2.1 billion in Q1 2021 alone. When your empire is desks and chairs, empty rooms aren't just quiet, they're deadly. SoftBank, once pouring $18.5 billion, pulled back. Neumann? He bounced with a new fund, Flow, boasting $700 million. Proof that charisma can erase memory. Rebecca Neumann turned to wellness ventures, but lawsuits rained down. Shareholders claimed fraud. Landlords demanded $47 billion in unpaid rents, later renegotiated. When ambition meets chaos, everyone sues. By November 2023, WeWork was a ghost of itself. Bankruptcy filed. Valuation $44.5 million. 500 locations shuttered, 5,000 jobs lost. From billions to pennies, fast enough to make your head spin. Yet the idea of co-working lives on. Competitors like Industrious flourish, proving the dream wasn't dead, just mismanaged. Media feasted on the saga, Hulu's WeWork, or the making and breaking of a $47 billion unicorn, 20 to 21. In conclusion, WeWork's saga? A $47 billion mirage built on charisma, not cash flow. It dazzled the world, promising a utopia of collaboration and innovation, while quietly hiding mountains of debt. Key lessons: hype without hustle always crumbles. Startups focus on profits over parties. Let's learn, grow, and build real dreams together. Thanks for watching.